Hello everyone, Jordan here bringing you episode 7 on my Call of Duty Ghost weapon guides. In today's episode we are taking a look at the M9A1 pistol. The M9A1 is a semi-automatic pistol designed back in the year 1980 and manufactured by Italian company Fabbrica di Armi Pietro Beretta. In real life, the Beretta M9A1 is a semi-automatic pistol. Its design is based off the original Beretta M9. The Beretta M9 first entered service back in 1985 to present day. The Beretta M9 fires a 9x19mm parabellum cartridge. The history of the weapon dates back into the 1970s, where the Joint Services Small Arms Planning Commission formed to test a variety of guns to find a suitable replacement for the M1911. In 1980, the Beretta 92S1 design was chosen, over entries from Colt, Smith & Wesson, Walther and various Fabrique Nationale and Heckler & Koch models. The result of this was challenged by the Army and so new tests were done. In 1984 the trial started again, but with updated entries from Smith & Wesson, Beretta, Heckler & Koch, Walther, Steyr and Fabrique Nationale. The results of this test was won by Beretta. At the beginning of 1979, a brand new holster company came into place and developed a multi-function military holster ready for the issuance of a new pistol. This holster was designed for the M12 but simultaneously was adopted by the Beretta 92F in 1985. The Beretta 92F survived a load of tests including exposure to severe temperatures, being soaked in salt water, being dropped repeatedly on concrete and being buried in sand, mud and snow. Additionally, the 92F proved to be mean rounds before failure of 35,000 rounds. This number was equivalent to about 5 or 6 times the pistol's service life, and therefore became issued by the United States Armed Forces. The Beretta M9 first entered service back in 1985 to present day. In 2006 the M9 was updated to a more modern design, known as the M9A1. This design added a Picatinny rail for attachments of lights, lasers and other accessories to the weapon. Also, the M9A1 has a more aggressive front and back strap, meaning it's easier to reload the weapon. The Beretta M9 fires a 9x19mm parabellum cartridge. So now we know some information about the M9A1 in real life, it's time to take a look in game. The magazine size for the M9A1 is a standard 12 rounds, which can be buffed up with the extended mags attachment up to 18 rounds. The fire rate is the devil's number in game at 666 rounds per minute. Reload time is quite quick at 1.63 seconds and also when it's empty at 1.9 seconds. Because of this fast reload time you don't really need to have sleight of hand. You could if you wanted to halve that reload time, but to be honest there really isn't no need. The recoil of the weapon tends to go upwards, but that shouldn't trouble you so much. Damage is quite good at 52 up close and 25 at long range, meaning it's 2 shots to the head and body at close range and 3 shots to the head and 4 shots to the body at a distance. The downside to the M9A1 is that it only takes a few meters for the damage to start dropping off, making it less likely to take 2 bullets to kill an enemy, more like 3 or 4 bullets. So from these stats you can clearly see that the M9A1 is definitely a good pistol all round. With minimum recoil and a good magazine size and a quick reload time as well, I can see why the United States Armed Forces adopted this weapon. So moving on to my recommended attachments when using this weapon. First up is the extended mags attachment. The fact we can increase it from 12 rounds up to 18 rounds can be useful. It means that we don't have to reload as often as we might have to without it, and plus if you encounter multiple enemies, then having an extra few bullets should do the job. My second recommended attachment is the tactical knife attachment. For some reason I found that when you have the tactical knife with this weapon, it feels like the recoil is a lot lower than what it already is, which can be useful when using this weapon. Also, having that tactical knife helps speed up our melee, meaning that if we need to reload and we see an enemy in close quarters, we can quickly stab them, reload a weapon and get back in the gunfights. My third recommended attachment is the muzzle brake attachment. Because it only takes a few meters before the damage starts to drop off, having that increased range increases our damage over range and this helps out a lot, meaning it will take about 3 shots rather than 4. Finally, my last recommended attachment is the armor piercing attachment. The M9A1 doesn't have that good penetration, but if you know that an enemy is behind thin cover, then using this attachment will do the job. So what's without a weapon without perks? So here are my recommended perks when using the M9A1. First up is Marathon. Marathon gives us unlimited sprint, meaning that we're constantly in the action, we can keep running around no matter what. My second recommended perk is Ready Up. When you come across those close encounters you want to have your pistol ready to go. So by having Ready Up, this definitely quickens our aim time after sprinting. This perk definitely goes well with Marathon and also with my third recommended perk, being agility. Agility, ready up and marathon is the perfect run and gun combo. The fact that we're moving at a faster rate than the base speed can definitely help you out traversing across the map. My fourth recommended perk is resilience. With a pistol you want to go a bit parkour, so when you head into verticality you want to make sure that when you fall off you're not going to do any damage to yourself, so resilience helps us take no full damage from this. My fifth recommended perk is dead silence. With a run and gunner you don't want people sound whoring you, so you can sneak up behind them and take them out, so dead silence will go well. My sixth recommended perk is on the go. Sometimes when you want to just get out of the gunfights to reload, having this perk can definitely come in handy. Although this perk is not as beneficial as the other perks that I recommended. My seventh recommended perk is focus. In those gunfights you don't want to flinch up high, especially since the M9A1 has recoil going upwards, so having focus can definitely help you out win those gunfights by reducing that flinch. Finally, my eighth recommended perk is reflex. Now you're probably thinking, what does reflex have to do with going with a pistol? Well, you will see in my class setups that I have a concussion grenade equipped, so by having the reflex perk we can quickly toss out those concussion grenades, slow the enemy down, flank around from behind them and take them out. So finally, moving on to my recommended class setups. First one, we're not going to have a primary, so we'll get the standard combat knife, but we are going to go with the secondary, going with the M9A1 pistol. This time I've gone with the tactical knife attachment. I don't have a lethal or tactical, so we're going to spend the rest of the points on our perks. So for my perks I have ready up, agility, marathon, on the go, dead silence, resilience and focus. For the strike package I've gone support, and I've gone with the satcom, the night owl and the oracle as my strike chain. Moving on to my second class setup, again we're going to go with no primary, so we get the standard combat knife. Again we're going to be going with the M9A1, and this time for the attachments wise I've gone with extended mags. Once again I have no lethal, but this time I've got a tactical and I've got a concussion grenade. For perks wise I've got ready up, marathon, reflex, dead silence, focus and the extra tactical perk. This way I have 2 concussions. Once again I've gone with the support strike package, and this time I've gone with the satcom, the night owl and the support squad mate as my strike chain. So overall I'll use the M9A1 as a backup pistol. If you critically injured someone and you need to reload, then quickly swapping out this pistol and taking a few shots should take him out, allowing you to reload and get the kill. So this concludes my weapon guide of the M9A1. Join me next time when I cover the Castec grenade launcher. So thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.